What's going on, everybody? This is an episode from the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast. Do you like podcasts and you want to see the full podcast? Make sure you check out the No Gimmicks Needed Wrestling podcast on all your podcast platforms, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, among many others. But you're listening to the episode right here on YouTube, so make sure you hit that like button and below, and make sure you hit the subscribe button to NC Studios and NC Level Up for all your gaming needs. This is the Nerd Coalition. Enjoy the show. Gotta talk about the Rumble. Obviously had no surprises. It was boring, and even the people back in WWE thought so too. And one of the reasons that was because we got the return of Shane McMahon, who came into the Rumble at number 29, right? The 28 of all places.
Wait, did you hold up? Real quick, did you hear the backstory
of what?
Of that, why he came on at 28?
No, what's the backstory? I know we might get to the story now, but what's the backstory?
Apparently, the numbers got mixed up, and Randy was supposed to come in at 28 when they played "Here Comes the Money," and Randy said, "I'm not walking out there. Here comes the money, so you better get out there."
Oh, wow.
That is what I heard. That's what I heard. That the numbers got mixed up, and Shane was supposed to come in at 29.
Wow. I'm about to say, well, number one, Shane did take a minute to get out there, but first of all, even the thought of Shane at 29 is egregious.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's funnier to think Randy Orton was like, "I'm not going out there to your music."
Yeah, not at all.
Not in my city.
And not at all in my city, but you fix this shit. So that happened, and Shane had an elimination, and Shane was actually booked to look strong, but the problem was the last few main people in the Rumble, it was like, bruh, it's going to Brock, but why? They had problem building stars, and they had problem convincing us that it just could be a fun Rumble, and it wasn't fun. You can tell this between a Pat Patterson Royal Rumble and a regular Royal Rumble. Well, it comes to find out that Shane was in charge of the whole Royal Rumble this year.
Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
Yeah. And I mean, hints of the shit being bad. And now they had plans for Shane McMahon for Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. But the plans have been scrapped because Shane McMahon got fired by his daddy.
He was silently fired.
Quietly let go. And all the plans that they had for Shane, it was gone. And honestly, there is a lot of problems with WWE before Shane got there, and Shane ain't helped things at all neither. And of course, Meltzer was saying there was a lot of heat backstage with them with the way the whole Royal Rumble was booked, because once again, out of the fan favorites, out of the people that we liked, or the people that we was getting behind, they did them no favors in this Rumble at all. Like I said, there wasn't that many surprises, and usually when you get to the 20s and you're getting into the mix of who can actually win the Rumble, you get about 2 Iron Men at the beginning, or 2 people that's that can still kind of win it. But then when we get to the 20s, that's when we started getting into the real stuff. But we was getting people like everybody knew Bad Bunny was to win this Rumble. So it haven't come out that late, and like I said, having Shane come out at that time is just very much egregious.
Hey, I agree.
And a lot of, they said the morale for WWE superstars backstage is low, which I don't blame them at all, because I don't know where Shane McMahon gets off trying to book himself as a strong candidate to even try to win the championship. Like I said, I don't know if he was trying to sell a story or what, because I don't know what the story was, because nobody wants to see Shane and Kevin Owens again. But at that late in the Rumble, that makes absolutely no sense, even though we knew which way it was going to go, because I heard that Brock Lesnar and Shane had some beef backstage.
Damn.
Yeah.
So Shane just got problems with everybody.
Well, especially how the match was, but like I said, the whole morale was low because first of all, this is the overall problem. This is WWE booking themselves into a hole. This is what happens when you release half your roster. And when you release half your roster, you have nobody to build up to be credible.
That's still not an excuse for this Rumble being as trash as it was.
No, I'm not making an excuse of saying how trash Rumble was, but even still, okay, say if Shane never came out there, or say if we had a couple more surprises, you personally still wouldn't like the Rumble. Be honest with yourself. Would you have liked it anyway?
If it was the same way and Shane or somebody didn't come out, and
somebody else came out instead.
If Shane didn't come out, right, and say if Bad Bunny came out earlier, and you just put somebody else in Shane's spot, would you still like the Rumble?
It's the same.
I think it depends on. I think it would have depended on who. Because I like the one thing I like about the Rumble is like Brock is winning, but like you see like imagine seeing like Brock or like this be the final four: Brock, McIntyre. We can remove who was left, Riddle and Shane McMahon. We can remove them.
I still say no. I would not have liked it even then.
I don't know.
Because even up to Shane came in 28. So it's like,
oh yeah, you were right.
We wasn't enjoying it up to then anyway.
Here's the thing: the whole, at least in my personal opinion, the whole middle of the Rumble was boring.
The whole Rumble was boring.
You know what I'm saying? No, because I like what AJ and Nakamura started out. That was a hot way to start. Nakamura and AJ starting it kind of reminded me of Undertaker and Shawn starting in 2008. You had two,
but not as the same.
It wasn't obviously that, but I'm saying, but you still.
No, I know it's obvious, but like, it's so, like for me, it was so not the same because Shinsuke is just so lesser now. So it's like,
yeah, he's so lesser. I mean, AJ just got back to being singles, but I understand what you're saying, but still two caliber names that people know the names and starting off. I was like, okay, that's cool because we know the history between Shinsuke and AJ. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's just like we knew the history between Shawn and Undertaker. Obviously, they were treated better than that. But after a while, it got boring, and then there was no surprises. See, the thing I liked about the Rumble, that's like what Q was saying, is that when you're talking about the Rumble, you like the surprises, and it could be predictable. It doesn't matter. There's only, obviously, one person that can win the Rumble, and you probably can sometimes know that going in, but you can still have exciting moments. You can still have exciting things to do in the Rumble. They had nothing like that, and there were so many botches. We already saw the Kofi botch, but obviously people are getting tired of the Kofi spot. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I'm just saying, but people are getting tired of it.
I don't care about the Kofi spot because it,
So you want people that's getting tired of it, right?
I'm neutral. I don't care if he do it or not. He's not winning, so I don't really care. Like,
what's crazy?
That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the problem. You look at Kofi Kingston and you're like, I don't care if you do the spot. He's not winning. That's the problem. Everybody that you just said that about Kofi too, we said that about literally all the other 29 people in that Rumble. That's not what we should do. It should be more like 2001, where it's just like, yo, who can win this? Undertaker could win this. Kane could win this. The Rock could win this. Stone Cold could win this. It doesn't. There's so many names up in there. Hell, Haku could have won it. But we knew that wasn't what happened. But at them names, like, who was going to win this joint? And when somebody got eliminated, you were surprised. And also about the Rumble is you get to see people interact with people that they don't usually interact with. I would have liked to see more of Riddle and Lesnar, but he just got fucking Riddle.
Because he don't like him, that's why.
I know Goldberg don't like him, I'm just saying, but still.
No, Brock does not like him in real life.
Yeah.
Oh.
He literally said, you would never fight me in the ring, but apparently that's not true. But obviously, he did tell him that.
But I'm saying, but still, those are the kind of things that this Rumble was missing. And for the fan favorites that we all like, whether it was AJ Styles, whether it was Kevin Owens, whether it was Seth Rollins, not Seth Rollins, excuse me, whether it was Big E. Like, Big E came out to nothing.
You and this Big E thing. Look, as soon as they put this man back with the New Day, like, I already knew this.
I'm saying, but it's the way they handled it was wrong. And then once again, There's nobody there. You almost had a thing full of jobbers. What's up, Brian?
Yeah, a lot of tag team people. Also, it probably was nothing for Big E as well because I heard like the Kobe was supposed to involve Big E in his stuff. So maybe Big E was supposed to come in to do some stuff with Kofi, but obviously since Kofi wasn't there, he kind of was just like, okay.
Yeah.
So that's probably something too.
Exactly. That is obvious. So in that span, you had tag teams. This is the reason why tag teams are not in the Rumble, because when you see them, they ain't gonna win. The only reason why I knew they was in the Rumble because they're stable. They do tag team stuff, but it's like, okay, you never know, but you want to see the Kobe spot with all that regardless. But they be the only team. Usos don't be in the Rumble, even though they weren't in this one. But they don't be in the Rumble. Street Profits in the Rumble. American Alpha's in the Rumble. Dirty Dogs in the Rumble. I'm just like, none of these people are winning the match. You know that. And you got to spread them all out. And y'all made these stars, or, you're trying to make afterthoughts. Shinsuke's an afterthought. Shouldn't be, but he is. Big E's an afterthought. Sheamus is an afterthought. AJ Styles is almost an afterthought. Randy Orton is we tired of Randy Orton. And if he booked it that way, that's a problem. Number one, like I said, that comes with a problem of firing all your fucking talent the year before. You have nobody. If you had built up these people, like say if Keith Lee was in the Rumble, say if Karrion Kross in the Rumble, that's what made the Rumble 2 years ago so good. You had Brock Lesnar starting out the match. When does Brock ever do that? He will, because everybody was like, oh shit. Because you already brought up the question, can Brock last? Because Brock don't be doing more than 10-minute matches now. And then we got to see Brock go up against people he would never fight on a regular basis, which was dope. Even if he just F5'd them, it still was cool to see him interact. Then when Shelton Benjamin came out, we like, oh shit, we know the history between him and Shelton Benjamin. What other date would they ever interact? They wouldn't.
Never.
They wouldn't. Him and Bobby Roode. When would they ever? They won't. So seeing all of that was cool, and that was the first half of the Rumble. And then of course when Keith Lee came down, it's like, oh shit. Oh, everybody said, oh shit. He F5 all his guys, but here come Keith Lee. It's a big motherfucker. He says a big motherfucker. MVP came back as a surprise, and then Brock was jamming to the music. That shit made it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Then when Drew came, that was the second half of the Rumble. Then Brock got eliminated. Nobody saw that coming. Then Edge comes back. Nobody saw that coming. That's what just made the whole fucking Rumble great. That 2020 Rumble was dope. And I'm like, compared to this one, was ass. Was complete ass. And honestly, when Shay has a problem with that, I can definitely see him, getting fired for that. But once again, he's getting fired for the mistakes that his dad made. Once again, his dad Vince McMahon created a situation just so he don't have to get blamed. Shane takes that at the expense of how Vince booked himself in a corner again. So if I bring back Shane, put him in charge of the Rumble. If the Rumble sucks, who gets blamed? Shane gets blamed. Who gets fired? Shane gets fired. So it don't look like it was my fault because I released all them superstars. Your fucking women's champion was in the Rumble and wasn't defending her title. Y'all don't have enough women. Do you see the problem? But I can just toss that blame on to somebody else. And like I said, the only thing I read was the plan for Shane to go against Bobby Lashley. Why Bobby? First of all, I ain't like Shane and Bobby in 2007. I'm not gonna like Shane and Bobby in 2022. And I was like, why was that? You would think Austin Theory because he's dealing with his dad and stuff like that, but still, I don't want Austin Theory with Shane McMahon neither. I don't want Shane McMahon at Mania. I don't need to see Shane uselessly jumping off of shit. I'm sorry.
Especially for a damn title.
I'm about to say, it got played out. First of all, it probably would have been for a time because we still got this title versus...
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right, yeah.
This title for title thing, which now they're trying to put another loophole with it because Paul Heyman said it's not for unification, like I said, because they're not going to unify nothing else. So why the fuck even go? Why even go through this? That means if Brock wins the title and loses at Mania, that means it just rendered the Royal Rumble completely pointless in 1 month. That's how they book themselves into a hole. Y'all thoughts on shit? I said I had to get that rant out. That was in there for me.
Yeah, man. I just want to say to that point with Shane, man. It sucks that he got fired, but like, I don't know, man. I wasn't gearing to want to see you at any of these pay-per-views anyway. So you know. It is what it is. I mean, how many times we have these rants and debates plenty of times about WWE just writing themselves into a circle. I don't know what else we could do or say, like, because they ain't gonna listen. They ain't gonna listen. They said we was the authority. They lied.
Well, we've been through that.
They ain't gonna hear, right? They ain't gonna listen to us. So I don't know, man. I just take it at face value and watch the show for what it is, I guess. I don't know.
No, I mean...
But to the one Shane McMahon fan, fuck you. I'm mad you got a chance to even sniff the Royal Rumble.
Exactly.
All right?
Exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about, too.
Uh-huh.
How about you, Brian?
Why you calling this man not here? Come on, man.
He'll hear it.
How about you, Brian?
I just got to say, even though, like you say, even though Vince fired everybody, it still has potential. It could have been a fun Rumble. Like, yes, the roster is going, but there still could have been potential for some of those moments that we like, but there was nothing. You know, it was just nothing.
But do we even but who do you even call? That's what I'm saying.
Who does Vince call?
Like what Prime was saying, to have those moments in the Rumble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you even call? Because
you can have fun moments. You can make it a fun Rumble without having surprises. I'm not worried about the surprise because we already know who's winning. I would just worry, I just like the interactions. We didn't get no interactions. Like, the only interactions that we got was with Chad Gable and Damian Priest. That's not...
Yeah, but
the
reason why I said the interaction don't feel like shit is because they don't respect the draft. People just be coming on shows anyway, so you see these people... intermingle, and like I said, you had about 4 tag teams in this Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
That's 8 people taking those spots. That's not gonna win the match. So it's hard to have interaction because you got tag teams in the Rumble. It's hard to have interactions because you see people cross the interaction. You could probably say, okay, well, let me see Drew McIntyre interact with, I guess, Edge. But I'm saying, damn, do you want to see Edge 3 years in a row in the Rumble? It loses luster after a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say Shinsuke, dropped a couple pegs. So seeing Shinsuke interact with Chad Gable, it's not going to make you happy because Shinsuke's, down on the card.
Shinsuke gotta get... I don't know, man. Turn heel again or something, bro. But he got
just fight.
He got to get rid of his belt. He got to get rid of his belt, man. I dead ass forgot he was IC champion.
So did I. When
I usually keep up on this.
When Sami Zayn on Friday said, I won my shot and I haven't got the title match in over a month. I'm like, wait, who the champion? Oh shit, it's Nakamura. Forgot all about that.
Mm-hmm.
The belt turns to the Cleveland Browns. That's where they go to die. It's like you don't do nothing with that. But so yeah, he fired. Shane's not gonna be in Mania. Fine.